It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka who put this damn buttercream on my butt cheek, aka the undisputed, uncontested social distancing champion, aka the taco meat tyrant. I know you see it. I know you see it. I know you see that. See that? That's manliness right there. AKA the nigga lip master. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites, the gaming podcast, solo podcast, where I talk about just that. Today's date is March 25th, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Monster Hunter Rise Eve. It's a monumentous event, monumentous occasion. Yeah, man. Outside of that, I mean, you know, the world's still the world, of course. But at least on the gaming front, a lot of very unfortunate things, very depressing stuff. I mean, to be completely honest, but either way, definitely got a pretty packed episode for you this week. Episode 97 as well, by the way. 3 episodes close to that good old 100. I'm sorry, I had to contemplate in my head. I was just in disbelief. We've come this far. But nonetheless, without further ado, let's stop the dilly-dallying and get right into it. First topic, probably the most depressing of them all. Xbox Live is now no longer, or soon to be no longer. So pretty much, in terms of how this came to be, this was at least via Tom Warren from The Verge. I think for some beta testers as well, they came across the terminology, across some of the UI on the Xbox, where things were referred to the Xbox network instead of Xbox Live, which is at least leading everybody to believe that, Xbox Live is soon to be no more. But I think it was also confirmed as well. Just to read this statement, Xbox Network refers to the underlying Xbox Online service, which was updated in the Microsoft Services Agreement, says a Microsoft spokesperson in the statement to The Verge. The update from Xbox Live to Xbox Network is intended to distinguish the underlying service from Xbox Live Gold memberships. So it's like, technically, it's weird. It's like technically it's no longer the universal terminology for Xbox networking, if that makes sense, but is more so kind of niched. I think they still will technically use it for, I guess, Xbox Live Gold in terms of multiplayer that you have to pay for outside of, Apex Legends and Fortnite and stuff like that. So it's still weird. I mean, I'd say just keep it, but I kind of get where they're coming from, where since Xbox is starting to expand more from just being a console to now, like, getting its hooks in the PC, which is, kind of ironic. It's now starting to kind of gain footing in the PC area. At least with all the trial and error stuff with, we should forget games for Windows Live. Ugh, I almost puked just saying that. Ugh. So hopefully it's for the better. I mean, I would still keep it. I would still try to keep Xbox Live as much as possible where you can, since that's, I think, such an established, recognizable name now within the gaming realm, especially, considering how Xbox, at least especially during the initial phases, has always revolutionized console network gaming. From that standpoint. Yeah, which I believe, Xbox Live had more resonance that way, where, when online play was way more novel back in the earlier days, like early 2000s. Yeah, Xbox Live was way more, I guess, yeah, just overall identifiable. Now, I guess I can really see it like it's more widespread and the umbrella is much greater. So I get it. At the same time, I don't want to get it though. Just stay Xbox Live. Stay what I remembered growing up. Feels like old childhood friend. You just gotta shoot. No reason. No reason at all. You just gotta shoot them. Hey, I didn't tell you this. There's some demon in the closet,
Hey, you ain't hear from me, but just shoot him. Just shoot him right now.
What? Why? Why do I gotta do this?
Just do it.
I don't know. That's what I assume happens. I don't know. R.I.P. Xbox Live. You really helped me out through growing up, but maybe we'll meet some other time. Do we cue the? It's been a long day until we meet again. Something, my friend. I am so sorry. I don't know that song. I just know the beats of it. You get the idea though. And to keep that depression train of closures and endings of stuff that's been very much rooted to us growing up.
Chew.
I gotta do it again. Chew. So, a little bit of backstory about that real quick. Before we move on. So apparently my mixer is just acting up. So it was not my fault last episode. It was the mixer's fault. So human intelligence 1, AI 0. Thank you very much. Sorry, I had to get that out the way. Yeah. So next topic of discussion, PS Vita, PS3, PSP. What that got to do with me? I'm sorry. So PS3 Vita and PSP Store supposedly, but more than likely, closing soon. So this was via what was it? At least Wario, I think of thegamer.com. They basically reported that PS3 Vita and PSP stores to permanently close in a few months. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So apparently the stores will be closed on July 2nd, while the PS Vita store will stay open until August 27th. After those dates, you will no longer be able to purchase digital copies of games or DLC for any of the Sony consoles mentioned. Phew, boy. Talk about the realization and how much it sucks to not own physical media right now, because I'd say those who are winning right now. Well, I mean, let me preface that, if you even care about PS3 Vita or PSP, which I'd say it's safe to say majority of you guys probably don't, but for the few, include myself, that do, this still sucks. At least I think it always sucks from a preservation standpoint, which I'm definitely a big proponent for game preservation, and to keep games intact and accessible as long and as much as possible. This is totally horrible. This is kind of the end of I guess, yeah, end of an era, but like end of a more concerning thing of like what this could set the tone for in terms of like, what's gonna happen to the PS4 and eventually PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Even though I don't know, I feel like Xbox may be better at this, but yeah, it still sucks either way. So now's the time, you guys, you PSP, Vita, PS3 owners, better buy them but buy your Scott Pilgrims. Oh wait, that was delisted. I feel like I'm trying to make a point, but actually I was genuinely thinking about that, but then remembered that Scott Pilgrim did get delisted like way back. At least now it's on current generation consoles and stuff now, so that is good. Yeah, I mean, get your Metal Gears. I'm trying to think of some highlights. Get your Devil May Cry collection. Oh no, that's on PS4, Xbox as well. Hey, now's the time. All right, get your little niche Japanese games that you'll probably never see again. Like, what was one? Tokyo Jungle for the PS3. Probably some Mr. Mosquito game. The one Miss Mosquito that's like jumping on people's boobies and sucking the blood out. Don't ask me why I know that. All right, shut up. So, it's horrible though. I may have to jump on that Vita train before it ends, before it shuts down completely. I hear there's some bangers. There's some, if you're a JRPG fan, you got a lot to look forward to. Nonetheless, moving on. Discord. You all know it. We all love it. Is it the other way around? We all know it. You all know it. You all love it. We all know it. Shut up. Is looking to get bought. At least how the story started out. So we'll read it right here via VentureBeat. Discord is going through a sales process now that could result in a purchase of the communications and chat. It's like chat, but got a 5 after the A, in between the A and the T, platform for much more than 10 billion. You gotta do it. You got to do it. Billion. $10 billion. That's crazy. Two sources familiar with the matter said that Discord is exploring its options for a sale in the wake of interest from multiple parties that want to buy the company. And one source said the company has signed an exclusive acquisition discussion with one party, meaning it is in final negotiations about a sale. The news comes after Discord raised $140 million in December at a $7 billion valuation. And to quote here, I know they are in active discussions with select few parties. One source said, the market is in a state where they could command strong double-digit billions of dollars. A spokesperson for Discord said it declined to comment on rumors or speculation. A lot of things could happen that could change the company's plans, but Discord is in play, according to our sources. While Discord has grown dramatically and has more than 140 million, sorry, I missed it, million monthly active users, it is still in a growth phase, and its financials aren't spectacular now. That means it may be early for the company to try to go public, the source said. So of those few, I think there was, did they mention the other competitor? But I guess maybe just people were assuming at that point. But at least for sure, Microsoft is in the running to purchase them currently, at least as it stands as of now, for $10 billion. That's a lot of money. That ain't no chump change. That's not. I feel very very concerned, at least initially, because we all know what happened with Skype, who used to be by themselves and got bought by Microsoft, and things didn't really necessarily turn up for them. So hopefully if Microsoft just buys Discord and then just stays, give them the freedom to just be Discord, but not have any like necessarily strict, like, I don't know, leashes, if you will, like of course you can maybe have better integration with Xbox in terms like, which is actually a pretty cool feature that I think I messed with, that it will show what game you're playing on Xbox to your Discord account. So in the same manner as if you're playing a PC game with Discord up, you can also, when you're playing a game on Xbox One, it'll show you in the same way it shows you within the Xbox user interface, where it shows like, so such and such is playing My Little Pony 5. I'm sorry to the 10 people that actually, hey, wait a minute. I am offended. I hate this. Let me try to find it. Us bronies won't get a break. I guess that's my impression of a brony. I'm sorry. Not all bronies are like that, I'm pretty sure. I'm certain. And at least further in terms, I think further today, I think it was revealed a couple days ago, but it looks like actually that deal with Microsoft is solidifying even more. Microsoft Core is in advanced talks to acquire messaging platform Discord, of course, for the $10 billion. As the software giant seeks to deepen its consumer offerings, Microsoft and Discord are in exclusive talks and could complete a deal next month, assuming the negotiations don't fall apart, the people said. There you go. So more than likely, Microsoft got them damn the Infinity Stones now. They what with Bethesda under that whole umbrella, Obsidian, now Discord. Who will they take over next? Just wait and see. All right. Yeah, I'm just, as long as they just give them the freedom and not Microsoftize Discord, I think things could be okay. considering it seems apparently they needed to outsource to a buyer from the looks of it. So cool. Moving on. PS4. PS4. So, came the news, at least as of March 23rd, on via PSU.com, that the PS4 clock battery can actually die, which I guess, I mean, that's kind of a given. Like, batteries will die eventually, like, if for anything. But the more concerning part is the fact that if it does die, well, if and when it does die, it means it'll lose access to all your digital games, as well as I think you can't even play, like, you know, DVDs or Blu-rays or anything like that until you get the PlayStation to check on the internet, or replace the battery, which, you know, you'll need to get some very like exclusive screws that, like, you know, only like you only use for a PlayStation 4 and stuff like that, which yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass. So at least, especially when you consider like the stores shutting down for PS3 and whatnot, let's say the same thing happens, 15 years down the road again, and, you know, essentially these PS4s could potentially be useless if you cannot check the internet, which, you know, if there's not going to be any online connectivity for the PS4, if and when that happens, then you're pretty much, I guess, for the most part, sitting with a brick, if you will. Maybe it'll play some videos on your USB drive if you want to get real desperate. But that's about it. So there hasn't necessarily been any confirmation on this, but it seems like the intention of it was to save trophies on PS4, which in general is just an annoying ordeal altogether, where it seems PS4, PlayStation's in general trophy system is way more archaic than it should be, especially, you know, compared to the founder of this system of incentives to play games, Xbox. That you know, it will basically refer to the system clock to temporarily record the trophy, and then when you upload the trophies, it'll, you know, solidify those trophies up to the cloud. So, which actually kind of sucks when you think about it. Let's say, you know, you hypothetically speaking, trying to get the Dead Rising 7-day survivor achievement, which you basically literally have to play the game for like 16 hours straight, and, you know, they get the achievement and then a trophy, and then you know, they get it, and then the battery dies, and then technically oh man, I would throw my PS4. I throw it so hard. Oh, pain. If there was ever any description of pain, it would be that. So apparently the error code is CE34878-0. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you, because if not, whoo boy, you in for a good time, a good dedicated time of troubleshooting your ass. I hate that I identify with that so much in terms of various random issues I've come across, specifically at least in the gaming realm. So we'll see. Maybe it seems like it could be something that could be firmware patched, or at least I would assume like Sony may do like a last final update patch before, you know, they send the PS4 off, you know, to the gravelands. I don't know where you go, Rikers Island. I don't know. So yeah, and I guess to read it to be 100%, solidified. So one of the biggest problems you have to be on the lookout for with the PS4 is the console's clock battery dies, which has massive ramifications for your game's collection. Specifically, if you see the error, like I mentioned, then you will lose access to all your digital games. As noted by Lance McDonald on Twitter, this comes down to the fact that the PS4 trophies require the internal system clock to be accurate, therefore stopping users from altering the PS4 date time to make it look like trophies were obtained earlier than they actually were. Therefore, if the PS4 clock battery stops working, so do your games. So, that kind of sucks a lot. Very sucky. Hopefully, if anything, I've seen a couple of PS4 teardown videos, which, admittedly, they seem to be very intricate, where you have to do a lot of elbow work to actually dismantle the PS4 to even probably get to that CMOS battery. So, that just sucks. So, just an FYI. Hopefully, you're not in that predicament playing Dead Rising or some game where you gotta, play for 24 hours straight. And the sodium levels, undeniable levels of sodium. At least I could imagine. Moving on. I guess 27. If I can type. Okay. That one game, Back for Blood. It needs it. It needs it. Back for Blood. Oh, I like it. I kind of like that. I wish I could use my auto tune, but it's very broken, so I just sound like
Back for Blood.
That's kind of cool too. I like that angle
though. Back for Blood.
That's how you gotta say it. You can't pronounce the D at the end. You gotta just
Back for Blood.
Anyway, Back for Blood, basically the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, essentially basically Left 4 Dead 3, it really feels like, but licensing and whatnot. So Back for Blood, it was originally slated for this summer, like June-ish, I want to say June 6th, if I dare be exact. Let me actually check. Let's fact check right now. Back 4 Blood release date June 18th. Okay. June 18th, but looks like it was pushed back via the statement on Twitter from the official Black for I hate it. The official Back for Blood. Man, now it sounds like feels like a tongue twister for some reason. Back for Blood, Back for Blood, Back for Blood, Back for Blood. Maybe not. Okay. Maybe it's just me. Back 4 Blood's Twitter stated, Turtle Rock Studios is working hard to make Back 4 Blood the best game it can possibly be at launch. And the team needs more time to do this. Therefore, we will re-release. Why did I read it like that? We will release Back 4 Blood on October 12th, 2021. We thank our community for its continued support and are excited to share that there will be an open beta this summer. So, there you go. Hey, I'm gonna get in that beta though. I'm gonna try to get in that beta though. I know that much. So, you know what? Take your time. Take your time, turn around. Take your time, Pastor. Yeah, it seems like they really got something special, at least from what I've seen. But then again, I've kind of been somewhat radio silent on it to, get a little bit more surprised when that actually releases. But at least there is the beta this summer. Hopefully I'll try to get into that if they let me. But yeah, take your time. If it's not ready, it's not ready. Well, I'd rather have what's a good example of a game being delayed that ended up being pretty good? I think Final Fantasy VII was delayed a couple of times. So yeah, let's shoot for Final Fantasy VII remake and not Cyberpunk 2077. I'll definitely take that. We got enough games as it is anyway. I'm fine. Take your time, Pastor. All right, moving on. If I could find where I was going. Nintendo Switch. I know we all can't get enough of it. We just can't. It makes me so wet. Nope. That's not what I meant. I was trying to make a pun about water, but it came out just the it came out totally wrong. I was not, well, you know what? I'm going to let it breathe. I'm going to let that breathe. That's my puddle and I'm staying in it. All right, man, that is a way to start off. All right. So via Bloomberg, least some more details regarding the Switch Pro. I feel like you just can't say Switch Pro. You gotta say Switch Pro. Yeah, you gotta put some Switch Pro. Switch Pro. Nintendo Super Switch. I like that. They better do Super Switch. I'll be so disappointed. So in regards to that, via this summary, the new Switch iteration will support NVIDIA's Deep Learning Super Sampling, or DLSS, a novel rendering technology that uses artificial intelligence to deliver high-fidelity graphics more efficiently. That will allow the console, which is also set for an OLED display upgrade, to reproduce game visuals at 4K quality when plugged into a TV, said the people, who asked not to be identified because the plan is not public. Shh. For the regarding the better CPU and more RAM, which has been rumored, at least now, that's at least new recent development in terms of it. The U.S. company's new chipset will also bring a better CPU and increased memory. DLSS support will require new code to be added to the games, so it'll primarily be used to improve graphics on upcoming titles, said the people, including multiple game developers. Bloomberg News previously reported that the new Switch is likely to include a 7-inch OLED screen from Samsung Display and couple the console's release with a bounty. You hear me? A bounty of new games. Declined. NVIDIA and Nintendo representatives declined to comment, of course. So I think we heard about this before, but I know at least via Twitter, a lot of analysts via Takashi Mochizuki, a lot of analysts say they expect the new Switch will be somewhere between $399 and $349.99. Even with the $399 tag, Nintendo can drive strong demand, quote. So there you go. That seems pretty likely. I mean, considering that it's a beefier Switch, yeah, it's a given, I think. Just very concerning, at least currently with the times, which I know we'll get in towards the end, but I mean, are they going to be able to produce this many is the question, especially NVIDIA of all people who, you know, have their dedicated resources to making these graphics cards that they can't keep in stock and stuff. So we'll see, I guess. That's Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious though, specifically on the topic of upcoming games with multiple game developers. I remember way back there was rumors about telling people in regards to the Switch to get their games ready for 4K fidelity. So it's like it seems like everything is lining up in that regard. Um, yeah, I'm very curious to see how the upgrade front is going to be. So like our already established games, I feel like I know for sure, for certain, Monster Hunter Rise is definitely going to be one of those where it seems like it could be the benefit greatly. Where maybe hey, I mean, play our cards right, we might get us a little boost mode. Get that buttery 60 FPS action going. Who knows? But oh yeah, I mean, I feel like it's all but solidified now. All these rumors coming from multiple sources, basically, um, more or less agreeing on the same thing. So hopefully next time, by the next rumor or whatever we get of this, we'll actually get a legitimate announcement from Nintendo themselves, which maybe likely in probably summer, maybe on their own exclusive direct event or something like that. I don't know, but hey, it's good to hear though. Everybody loves the Switch. We all love the Switch. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm still holding some. I'm still holding some bad blood against Nintendo. Why they gonna take my name like that? I don't really appreciate that at all. But I digress. Moving on. So, Judgment, the one game made by the developers that made the infamous Yakuza series, one of the series that is near and dear to my heart. It looks like a sequel is in development for Judgment. So we gonna see Yagami again. We gonna be solving them mysteries. We gonna be doing them annoying tailing missions where you just looking like an idiot, just tailing people for too long of a time. But I'm here for it though. I ain't gonna lie. So let's read this real quick. The Tojo Dojo can reveal that we have spoken to a source who has told us that a sequel to the 2018 hit Judgment is in development. We wish to stress that this is a rumor, but after doing research into it, we feel safe saying that we believe this is to be genuine. We asked our source for proof to verify what they're saying and was given information that backed up what they told us. After posting about the trademark for something called Lost Judgment yesterday and stating that we didn't believe it was Judgment related, our source told us that we was wrong. I think they meant we were wrong to assume that. Apparently, Lost Judgment has been a working title for the sequel along with Judgment Sees the Truth. Sega of Japan taking out a trademark for Lost Judgment might make it seem like this is the final name they went with, but companies often trademark multiple names and choose which one to use at a later date. Another detail revealed to us is that the game will still feature Yagami and his trusty sidekick Kaito. The Yakuza series hasn't been great about having characters return, especially when their likeness is based on someone famous like Yagami, who was played by Takayuka Kimura. It's nice to know that we will be continuing our sleuthing adventures in Kamurocho with some familiar faces. We've also heard about others who will return from the original game. The game will also apparently feel much darker. The Yakuza series is normally known for its slapstick humor sprinkled throughout, and although Judgment had it in places, it was a much more serious story. What we've yeah, this is some grammatical errors. That's what's really throwing me off. What we described, what we had described to us makes it sound like Yagami didn't battle all of his demons in the first judgment. So, yeah, it's a lot of interesting takeaways from that. At least specifically, at least what struck me was the Yagami, being using a famous real life person in a game, which probably the biggest example comes to mind for me is the Onimusha games, where you had Samanosuke Akechi. I forgot who he was played from, and then for Onimusha 2, there was another famous actor in Japan that was being used as his character, which I'm very curious as to what may possibly played into why we maybe didn't get a sequel remaster or a remaster version of the sequel, or that just the sales were bad. But pretty interesting that they actually are continuing that character, not just gonna write him off or find a generated character rather than try to go for a famous person. So it is good with that. I think I believe beforehand they said, I guess it's not been confirmed yet, but I don't see them making this gameplay wise like Yakuza Like a Dragon, where it's it feels like the consensus of that everybody likes it more turn based than beat 'em up style, which it kills me inside. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts a lot. But considering the reception for Like a Dragon, I think it's only safe to assume that this is gonna stick to the beat 'em up roots of Yakuza, and maybe make it its own thing. But it sucks. But I mean, at least we'll still get some beat 'em up equivalent of Yakuza, which I mean, I'll take it over nothing at all. So it's starting to sink in now. That even though they didn't say it, they didn't confirm it, but it's like this is probably the most positive reception I think they got for a Yakuza game compared to the previous beat 'em up ones. I feel like it's gonna be a given at this point. I really want to be. You don't know how much I want to be wrong right now, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, I'm gonna still play it though, but I'm gonna still play it with like a menacing grin on my face. I'm like, it's good though. I do like this gameplay. This is. I do like Ichiban. He's a pretty cool character. The whole game. That's pretty much what I was when I was playing all through Like a Dragon. Like, Ichiban is a really cool character. I like how they all play together. I hate it. I really do. I love it though. Deep down inside, I do love it, but I hate it. I hate it as well. So, it is good to know. At least very, very good to know. We've yet to, get any confirmation about a sequel for the next Yakuza, whatever that is. Normally we would have heard it by now, considering the impeccable cadence that Ryuga Gotoku Studios really has. They've been I think they've churned out a game literally every year. Maybe they're trying to let my I guess my other suspicion is that maybe they're trying to let the recent ports breathe a little bit, because I know we got a cavalcade of the whole Yakuza series being released on Steam, Xbox, as well as Xbox's PC platform for games as well. So I mean, that's a lot of Yakuza to take in. You got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 just came out, I think, this week. So it's a lot of Yakuza to go around. Everybody, please eat up. Please eat up. It's good, isn't it? I know you like it, don't you? Yeah, you do. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Yeah. So hey, as long as I get to beat people up in the name of justice, I'm all for it. All right? I'm all for it. Beating up people for justice. It's the American way. Moving on. Streets of Rage 4. Dun-dun-dun-dun. I gotta do it. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm sorry. That's the best I could do. Streets of Rage 4. I mean, we getting a little bit of rumor territory, but I mean, it's hard to deny though. So for people that don't know, steamdb is basically like a site that will pull information when a game gets updated in some way, shape, or form, whether that be like a miscellaneous file or something like that. So, what do you know? At least yesterday, steamdb was updated for a little game called Streets of Rage 4, Mr. X Nightmare. So, for those that don't know, Mr. X has been like the, I get it wrong every time. I'm going to gamble. Has always been the protagonist. It's going to kill me. It's going to kill me. I can never get it. Son of a bitch, I got it wrong. Antagonist of the Streets Rage series. Except this one technically. But who knows what that may not be the case now. Because of this supposed name title, I feel like it's a pretty good indication that this is going to be like the maybe big DLC pack that might include like maybe some new stages, maybe a whole new kind of scenario or whatever, where you get to play against new characters. Of course, I think it might be a given at this point. We might get that Estelle, we might get Max, we might get Shiva. Streets of Rage 4 versions. Please give it to me. Please give it to me right now. Put it all on my face. I want it all on in my face. Oh my God. Give it to me right now. Oh, give it to me. So, I mean, it's just the title or, this name, but I mean, it's a lot you could take from Mr. X Nightmare. Yeah, I think it's definitely a given. It's going to be some scenario, some DLC. Yeah. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities. I see somebody in the thread. It could be a young Mr. X. That would be kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Ha 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 ha. But it's like a little kid. Like. That'd be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'd play that. I'd play the shit out of that. Yeah. You build your criminal empire, defeating all other crime families in the city, declaring yourself the kingpin at the end, which would then, precede the events of the first Streets of Rage and going for. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. I'd love that. Ugh. Give it to me right now. Inject it in my veins. I want it. Oh, even Rue. I forgot about Rue, who made the cameo as well. A lot of potential. Also could add the 4-player co-op. Oh, I want it. Just bringing awareness. If you don't know by now, Streets of Rage 4, one of the best games of all time. Oh, it's so good. If you're a fan of beat 'em ups, quintessential. You hear me? Quintessential. you will be doing an injustice to yourself for not playing Streets of Rage 4 if you're a fan of beat 'em ups. One of the best. Ugh. Okay, enough about me gushing. Well, let me stop. Let me stop gushing. I got got all this gush on the floor. Oh, somebody get all this damn gush on the floor. Who gushing out? Some dad who gushing all over this damn floor. Damn it! I just clean this damn floor. Moving on. So we've meet again. RTX 3080. That's what Lady Dimitrescu would say if you know. Oh, that'd be kind of cool if she actually before you boot up your PC. So basically, the PC requirements for Resident Evil Village have officially been released. So basically, basically what a dick measuring contest, for nerds, where you're like, hey, is it big enough? Why did I come? Oh God, why? I don't know where that analogy came from, to be honest. Oh God. Oh no.
Is it big enough?
I don't like it. I like it though. I don't like it, but I do kind of like it. All right. So, at least let's check the minimum. Minimum wise, of course, Windows 10. I mean, who are you if you don't have Windows 10? Well, actually, I think there's a lot of feasible reasoning to have like Windows 7 in some cases. CPU wise, Intel Core i5 7500, AMD Ryzen 3 1200, 8 gigabytes of that RAM, nvidia GeForce 1050 Ti with 4 gigabytes RAM, AMD Radeon RX 560 with 4 gigabyte VRAM, DirectX 12, and I believe this is 1080p. This is at 1080p minimum. But if you want that recommended, CPU wise, Intel Core i7 8700, the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Graphics card wise, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070, AMD Radeon RX 5700, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 for 4K 45 FPS, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 for 4K 60 FPS, Radeon 6700 XT 4K 45 FPS, AMD Radeon RX 6800 4K 45 FPS, and the 69 RX 6900 XT for 4K 60 FPS. Hey, there you go. So,
If the dick not big enough,
I hate it. I don't like it, but I mean, you think about it. Hey, if you got a PS5 Series X, I think you just as good, if any, though, as well. So, at least for me, it's not big enough. I don't think. Technically, I got an i7 67. What is my PC spec again? Let me do a live assessment. i7-7700K at 4.20 gigahertz. I think I overclocked that. 16 gigabytes of RAM, of course. RTX 3090. I should technically be okay, but you know what? I want to run faster. I wanted to run faster. Yeah, they recommend an 8700, but it is, I have a K, so technically I should be good. So, you know what? I should be okay. Either way, hey, if that boy beefy, that boy beefy. I don't know what that means, but take it how you will. Moving on. With Game Pass for PC, there's been some interesting developments with these PC versions. Let me rephrase that. Xbox PC versions of games in comparison to the Steam versions of these games. So at least some of the first notable ones is Near Automata, Become as God's Edition. So what at least a lot of users have found is that this edition it seems to be a vast improvement in comparison to the Steam version, which doesn't have any of the features. So in terms of those additions, a borderless video setting, Fidelity FX HDR, which I think is huge, UI textures upscaled to 4K. So apparently a lot of that is not in the Steam version, or no update, that coincided with the Xbox Game Pass for PC version. So as you would assume, expect, a lot of fans of the game are not too happy about that. So due to that, it seems like the Steam version is getting review bombed on Steam. For those that may not know, in terms of review bombing, is basically when a massive I just keep it in my head, I'm thinking pitchforks and torches and whatever, but basically a group of people in mass collaborate and give a very negative review of the game with the intention to bring awareness or a message to some sort. So obviously in this case being a disparity between the Xbox Game Pass for PC version and the Steam version. So it's understandable. I mean, do you got a review bomb though? I mean, I feel like there are more constructive ways to do it, but I mean, either way, they're trying to get a point across that Steam should have these same improvements as the PC, which in turn would get people to go over the Game Pass over the Steam version. So I get it, but yeah, it's I understand it though. Yeah, it's like it's a lot of disagreement, frustration, especially I remember like at least reading, looking up near like the PC version in terms of determining which version I was going to play ultimately. But it seemed like just a pain in the ass in terms of the PC version from what I researched, and how you had to do all these mods and packs that people were making to fix fix the game that Square should have been fixing. But I digress. But yeah, hopefully this is definitely going to bring attention and maybe give us some answers as to why they're doing it. So, I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, it could be way more destructive ways they could have done it, but I mean, of the various avenues to bring awareness to it, I mean, I think it's definitely the lesser of the way more, I guess, dire, I guess, initiatives, if you will. But in keeping that depression, depressing Game Pass Steam disparity train going, choo choo. The Evil Within as well did get a new port for the Xbox Game Pass for PC version that includes the first person view, new field of view options, new icons, I'm assuming for like button prompts for keyboard or controller. and all the DLC and more. So apparently, I'm assuming this wasn't in the base Steam version of the game. So yeah, first person mode, field of view option, infinite ammo mode, icons for a lantern / sneaking in first person view, low to medium options for camera bob. The stamina has been adjusted. You can now run for 5 seconds at default stamina, was originally 3 seconds. All DLC included, separate achievement list from Xbox. The game also feels less janky and smooth. Definitely worth getting. So, yeah, boy, yeah, I don't, I don't think you want these Steam users getting mad at Microsoft, for going trying to mark their territory. Yeah, I don't think it's as big of a outrage with this game, at least compared to Nier, but I mean, still just as bad when you think about it. Just as bad, it really is. Just interesting though. Hopefully this is not a precedent for leaving Steam people out in the wild. And if anything, just say like Steam is going to get these updates at a later date, which still would be horrible, but at least give people some answers rather than doing like a stealth update and then noticing all these features they added and, racking them up and people just getting more pissed. Probably not the best way to do it, but, I digress. Moving on. I gotta say it. I just got to. Lidia Sobieska. Actually, that's pretty close to Tekken's announcer. Lidia Sobieska. So the trailer dropped over this weekend regarding the announcement of her character in Tekken 7. It's where she actually is going to be dropped, or she dropped this past Tuesday, I think. Which I guess we'll talk about in our in what I've been playing, but yeah, at least going by the trailer, she looks pretty cool. At least to me, she looks like cooler than Jin. I guess because her art, just her fighting style is more practical than like Jin's and Kazuya's now. It seems like, at least from what I'm made aware of. But at least also after playing her a bit, she seems pretty cool also. So, but hey, Lidia Sobieski, oos. That's what she does. She does that taunt, which is cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I guess that's really it. I just want to touch on that. Moving on though. Man, so at least what I referenced earlier in regards to this chip crisis. Man, it seems to be way more dire than we all anticipated, expected, what have you. So, according to theguardian.com, the global shortage in computer chips reaches crisis point. I got a crisis point. That'd be a cool game title. I'm not gonna lie, I'd play that. So, from their little tidbits from the document, the shortage in chips, the brain within every electronic device in the world, has been steadily worsening since last year. However, although production is back to normal, a new surge in demand driven by changing habits fueled by the pandemic means that it is now reaching crisis point. Chips are everything, says Neil Campling, media and tech analyst at Mirabald. There is a perfect storm of supply and demand factors going on here, but basically there is a new level of demand that can't be kept up with. Everyone is in crisis. and it is getting worse. I'm sorry, I had to pause that. Like a movie quote. I'm sorry. So going by this, most likely won't see a normal supply until early 2023, which that is crazy. I mean, that is crazy. It really is. I hear that like the biggest culprit is cars, since cars are more essential than like graphics cards and CPUs and whatnot. So that's at least been getting some of the priority. But yeah, it's crazy just how this world event is like drastically changed everything now. That is pretty surreal. Never thought I'd see the day. It's like hard to fathom. Like, man, you can't get this if you wanted it right now. I mean, which is the case for a fair amount of stuff, but I guess the widespread effect of it, I think, is pretty crazy when you kind of put it in perspective. How we've never necessarily seen anything like this before, at least in this predicament, where there's like a severe shortage of something that's in more or less very essential in a lot of cases for a lot of people. So you better uppercut them grannies for PS5, cause who boy. Let me just put on the record, I do not condone uppercutting grannies. I was just joking. Please don't uppercut grannies, cause some of you TikTok people might make a challenge. Uppercut. What would you even call it? I really don't want to speculate it, but at the same time I gotta do the granny. Yeah, call it the Granny Smith challenge. Oh no, what have I done? Call it the Granny Smith challenge. You probably make a joke. Yeah, you probably make the same joke. So people got that continued expectancy, familiarity with the joke, so it kind of resonates in that respect. And then you like, what would you like? Hey Granny, what's up? Oh yeah. Oh, I hate it. So it'd probably be like, hey Granny, what's up? I don't know, son. What? These knuckles. Oh, I do love that a lot, but I hate it. Oh, at what cost? At what cost? That's funny, but at what cost? We've seen Bob, we've seen a massive increase in grannies with fucked up chins. These grannies coincidentally need surgery after this new TikTok trend is going, the Granny Smith challenge. I hate it. Please don't do that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It was just I just had to entertain that random thought I had in my head, and grow it into something that hopefully won't terrorize the world. I apologize. Just sorry. Just curiosity got the best out of me. I'm trying to be a better person. I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. With that being said, let's get into what I've been playing. So, let me hydrate first. Stay hydrated. Don't be thirsty. Nobody want to be thirsty. You gotta be thirsty to drink, but still. Don't be thirsty. You won't be thirsty unless you drink something, So, where am I? Yeah, so what I've been playing, the usual, that Modern Warfare. Been not playing as much now, but I'm at least almost getting a level 60. I think there's a double XP weekend. I swear, they always trying to do it on when some new games drop. They want to try to do these double XP weekends, which is just irritating. Don't do it like 2 weeks or something after. You know a game coming out. Why you gotta do it like I hate it. I digress. Then also played some more of the Monster Hunter Rise demo to try to beat Magnamalo, but boy, considering, like I was talking about last episode, considering the what am I thinking of? Oh, the kind of restrictions they have for that specific hunt, and especially the time limit, which is, I think that's the biggest annoyance, if anything, where like the time limit seems way smaller than compared to other monsters. That makes it really tough. Not to mention, which is at least which I talked about, I think before, my biggest concern going into Monster Hunter Rise is that you're kind of forced to do this critical route in order to maximize your health, stamina, and attack, which I hope they at the very least lets you create a build or something that lets you like mitigate that, or not force you to do that. But yeah, so there's that. So you have to take this optimized route, which takes a decent amount of time, and then when you get to the monster, you barely have that much time, and then this bastard keeps like jumping around, shooting little fireballs and doing little air spins and dives and shit. I hate him. I'm gonna fuck him up though in the main game. I know that much, cause all this pent up frustration, he gonna feel all these cuts, every incision, every slit, he's gonna feel it. I hope he does. Yeah, so I still remain defeated with Magnamalo. May try a few times before the game drops, but more than likely not. But yeah. Then out of I guess partial frustration of that aspect of the demo, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and play some more Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which I played a ton of since I finally got my Deviant Crown, the first Deviant Crown. There's like, I think tiers. I think you get your first little small Deviant Crown, which I got, which is basically after I think you defeat your first EX Deviant monster, and then I want to say after you defeat 5 or 6, you get like a slightly bigger crown. I think like there's like a 15 or 12. It feels like 15. I think after you kill all 15 of the EX deviants, you get the biggest crown. You just basically just put your dick out on the you just pull your dick out on the table after that, say, hey. You go to a job interview like, hey, you know what? This should go without being mentioned, but I got the biggest deviant crown on the man. So, I mean, if you want to hire me right now, I mean, hey, it's up to you. If not, I got options. All right. I got. They switch with them to the interview. Like, show them, hey, I got options. I'm just letting you know that. Uppercutting grannies. I hate it. So, yeah, but you know what? It's like the more I'm playing it, the more I feel like I do really miss I do really miss, I guess, quote unquote, classic Monster Hunter. It's like some weird, um, masochistic, like, attachment I have to Ultimate compared to World. That, like, I don't know. I feel like World, dare I say it, like spoon feeds you too much, to where like I want to like be punished for, not remembering to restock my items, or forgetting to get my hot drinks, cold drinks. It's like some masochistic tendency towards this game specifically, that I'm like, I feel like I've kept coming back to more than World, I feel. So yeah, maybe I'm just masochistic, I guess. I don't know. Just maybe it's just maybe it's the Stockholm syndrome. I don't know, like just all this, having all that pain and punishment throughout the history of playing Monster Hunter, that like now that World is like what is it? I forgot. It was something where, it's like this girl. Oh no, it's like, people who get locked up in prisons, are in jail, and like, they get out of jail, and it's like, they still have those tendencies of being in jail. Like I think I've heard stories of people like not really wanting to sleep on a very comfy, a comfy bed anymore after, being in prison, and, tendencies of, worse food and stuff, even though I think that's more, preference based. But I think that's kind of how I feel about Monster Hunter. I hope Rise changes my opinion on that, but like a part of me feels like I'm still gonna feel like encouraged to jump back to Ultimate, like now and then, still, in comparison to like World, for like the strangest reason. But I don't know, it feel at the same time, this is like Generations Ultimate is like one of the most like fully packed Monster Hunter games, in terms of like, I think it technically has the most monsters in game, even compared to Iceborne technically. It has a lot of it does string the nostalgia strings as well, in terms of having a lot of the classic games. Like my the first Monster Hunter game I played that actually got me into Monster Hunter was Freedom Ultimate on the PSP. That, like, man, this is awesome, playing with some friends at back when I used to work at Cedar Point. That was kind of crazy, but man, yeah, those were some memories. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It at least going from by reviews, Rise is definitely one of the best since Breath of the Wild, that's saying a lot. So who knows? But yeah. Also, I've been getting back into that Gears, man. Them Gears starting to spin again. I've dabbled here and there, but yeah, for some reason I was like, let me try this ranked mode, which I haven't tried this season. They did say with this new season 6, that they revamped the ranking system this time, which they totally did, which I'm totally like really enjoying now. At least compared to the last season, it felt more archaic, which I don't know if that was the case or the expectation, but it felt more, what's the word, like definitive, if you will, where I guess similar to Overwatch, where it's like you play 5-6 games, and yeah, you play 5 or 6 games, and then they, based off those 6 games you play, they determine your rank. So like, okay, those 6 games, you did pretty good, you were pretty solid, we'll give you bronze 3 or something. I don't know, because at least currently the rankings are, I think, bronze, silver, gold, onyx, what was it? It was Onyx and then Diamond and then Master. So with that in mind, they rank you there, but to my understanding, like when you get your rank after those 6 matches, that's it. You can't really change or increase it, more or less, it felt like. I think you could, but it took like an unreasonable amount of time to try to change that or improve it. Which at least for me, it's like, I guess this is what they, I guess is the rank I got. And then, okay, I'm done. You just get a sense of like, I guess, semi-fulfillment. Like, okay, I did what I need to do for the season. All right, I'll come back next season, whatever. But with this format, with season 6 now, it's like you start off from the lowest at bronze and then work your way up. So there's bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3, and then you get the silver after 3, and then so on and so forth for each other tier. But with this one, it feels way more encouraging to play than like that format, which I think is probably still in Overwatch. I think where it feels like you're progressing more rather than with that the previous format where it's like you don't really feel like you should progress, but this one you feel like you're encouraged to progress more, which definitely is why I definitely played like a good amount of Gears this week too. So yeah, Gears is back, man. Gears is back. Yeah, I am really loving it. Like, I was really into Gears 4, but this one, yeah, it like genuinely got me back after not playing. I dabble here and there, but not anything like extensively. But this ranked mode really is like fun and like really keeping me to go, keep playing. And another factor too, I think, is also the game. It doesn't penalize you for, I guess it is not, I am totally not trying to brag now, but I'm just trying to state the facts. But like, if you're hypothetically, I'm trying to be very modest about it, but if you're hypothetically carrying a team, your back is hurting, and you lose, it doesn't penalize you as much compared to like last season's system, where it's like pretty much most of the point system was determined on if you won or lost. But this one, it still keeps you in the game, and you don't feel as much of a negative penalty for losing, even though you were playing your ass off to try to win the game, which I also appreciated a lot as well. I think this is probably the best ranked like system I've played in a long time, based off those factors, where it's like you are encouraged to progress. You get like a lot of XP bonuses, you get like some cool little gun camos and stuff. Yeah, so bravo Coalition for this ranking system. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I am loving it. It is great. Yes. It's time for me to start playing Gears again. Gotta put my boots on, put my get my Lancer revved up. I'm ready. Also played a little bit of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. So basically this is the one game from Ninja Theory where it is I think her name is Senua. I could be wrong, but basically the game with the girl that's going through her head in terms of like determining if actually I don't really know the plot that much, to be honest. I only played like about an hour or so before I started playing something else, but I'm interested. I do plan ideally maybe no, I forgot Monster Hunter. Maybe not anytime soon, but I do plan to get back to it eventually. But it had some interesting tidbits of like, it seems like very heavy on like psychosis and mentality and like, you know, fighting the voices in your head, which, you know, I think they also warned you before starting the game, like this game involves a lot of, you know, mental issues, as well as, you know, I guess really just overall mental issues, and, you know, touching on that topic. So I'm definitely gonna get back to it at some point, but yeah, the combat was pretty fun too. You can counter, you can parry. I mean, hey, as soon as you mentioned parry, I'm like, hey, when let me play right now. You just gotta say parry. You don't even gotta say. You just gotta say parry. All right, let me get it. Let me get it. So, pretty much that's what I've been playing since last episode. So, moving to what I've been watching. You already know. You should know. You already know. Maybe you don't, but yeah, let's, you know what, before that, Attack on Titan, yes. I don't want to spoil. Yeah, because of the whole issues with the earthquakes and stuff, I don't want to spoil it, but all I'm gonna say is Levi, I've said it on Twitter, Levi is the fucking GOAT. I still stand by that. It was a meme I saw on Twitter too. It was like Levi with the Levi as if she was New York from I Love New York, where, you know, Levi was telling Zeke to read your fucking book, Levi, read it. Or Zeke, my bad. So some things happened where that didn't seem to happen. So then things kind of came back, and, you know, it was basically like, you know, Levi, well, you should have read your fucking book, Zeke. You should have read your fucking book. Now look what happened. Just because you didn't read your damn book. Now look at you. Bookless. So that's all I'm gonna say. Levi GOAT. Walking Dead. Damn, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, this is a pretty interesting episode. I think since nobody watches Walking Dead anymore, I'm gonna just talk about it and spoil it. This was the interesting episode where it took place with Princess King Ezekiel and what is the nerd guy? Eugene were all captured, and the one girl with the bow. They were all captured, and they, you know, actually pick it up back there. And so pretty much the whole episode, you're led to believe that all these characters she's talked to, or they're shown, but at least the big like twist is that it was all in her head, at least the characters that she interacted with technically. And then they go to show that all the people, you know, were there, and, you know, revealed that, you know, she was looking for. And then, you know, they knock her head out, and then wait till next episode, Walking Dead. So it was a cool episode, though. I give them credit for that twist. I didn't see that coming. At least it was a little weird at first, but then now it makes sense after that payoff. So I'm still enjoying Walking Dead. I mean, not as much as, you know, when Rick was still on, but, you know, I'm still enjoying it, admittedly. So, of course, Justice League Snyder Cut. Yes, full sitting, no pissing. It was great. Personally, I thoroughly enjoyed it. As somebody who was like mediocre / lukewarm on the theatrical cut, thought this was very, very justified, very well done. Totally understand why people wanted the Snyder cut now, for sure, because he delivered. He really did. like all the people that you had no clue who they were, what they originated from, their origin story. Everyone had a very thought out, fleshed out story arc that made sense, and just totally made sense all around. It was to the point where, on top of that, as well as personally, I thought the Tekken, the spacing or pacing, I mean, was impeccable. Because it's like, it was literally to the point where like I didn't even wasn't necessarily looking at the time. I was like, man, I'm in. I'm kind of invested now. I was actually kind of sad it ended, to be honest, but they did a really good job. I think this is totally verified. It's a shame because it's like at the same time it's bittersweet because like, yes, we finally got the Snyder cut, but at the same time it seems like we're just getting this tease of something that most likely won't happen, but fingers crossed maybe some exception down the road. But at least I think some of the people from Warner Brothers, I think they said it's not gonna happen, that this was just a thing for the fans more or less, or the probably HBO Max cutting that deal to give them funding to do this. But yeah, it's good though. It really is just sad that this should have been I think this felt like a quintessential DC movie in terms of matching at least to what my expectation of the comics were, where in comparison to Marvel movies, it's way more darker and not as necessarily comedic, but of course it does have those moments. But overall, that's kind of what I envisioned a movie like this would be like for the most part, which I definitely think this delivered. I know a lot of people have issues with the 4 hours, but I mean, personally, it felt like all of those 4 hours were very justified in my opinion. Like everything had a purpose for one way or another. At least thinking about it in my head, it's not necessarily one scene I could think like they could have totally just cut this out and it not have any meaning or enrichment to the story overall. So man, they freaking redeemed Cyborg. He is like total 180 compared to the theatrical cut. He's like a pivotal character in this cut now. Flash is more fully fleshed out now. We thank God, thank the heavens. We don't have weird looking CGI Superman with the what were they thinking, man? Just in retrospect now, what were they thinking? There could have been so many ways they could have did that better. Why would you do that? Just have they were man. What were they thinking, man? Superman looking weird and off and creepy as hell. Oh my God. So thankfully none of that is very far from the movie. So thank goodness for that. What were they thinking? Just thinking about that now, it's like making me mad. Yeah, we're just gonna do this, but it's like there could have been so many ways they could have not done that. But I digress. Yeah, like even the combat scenes are way more fleshed out. They added like additional scenes and stuff to those scenes to give it more impact, I felt. But yeah, as just a fellow appreciator fan of comic book movies and stuff, even as somebody who actually, admittedly didn't read like the comic books like growing up in Marvel and stuff, but just through, I guess, technically osmosis and YouTube research, is like a lot of this is really fascinating, at least in terms of how people are writing characters and developments and stuff like that. At least personally, I felt that yeah, this was very valid. I'm very glad I did watch this Snyder cut, because 10 times better in my opinion. What I thought was like, I mean, as a whole, I thought it was like a 6, 5, 6, definitely like a 9, 9.5. I feel now. So, it seems like the consensus is very, somewhat, what's the word? Not controversial, but very, diverse. It doesn't seem like, at least, you either loved it or hated it. It wasn't necessarily, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of in between. It's like you either really loved it or you really hated it. Maybe there's some leeway where people were like, it was better than the theatrical cut. That's it. But personally, I thought it dare I say, did it justice. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Sorry. So, I mean, hey, that is my thoughts on Justice League, the Snyder Cut. We also, we got like a double feature. Got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out as well. This was a pretty good episode, premiere. You get Bucky, who, is going through stuff, therapy, I guess, post all the traumatic stuff that's happened throughout, he got blipped away. Yeah, I think he got blipped away. So, he's been technically gone for 5 years. They never necessarily explained what happens with that. Cause I know in the Marvel, previous movies, they're blipped, and I think they're blipped to this universe or something, maybe. I don't know. It's very confusing, but they kind of at least touch on him dealing with not being the Winter Soldier anymore, or a Winter Soldier in terms of the assassin of killing people. And then they had a very interesting arc about him and this old guy who you come to find out he apparently killed his son, and he's trying to hang out with him and keep him company out of guilt, which I don't know, something about that always gets me at some deep level, that you're just so guilty, you're just trying to console the person that they were closest to. But yeah, and then you have Sam Wilson, Falcon. They had this really dope intro scene of him flying and doing acrobatics and in the sky, and having this whole fully fledged flight, jumping from planes to helicopters and stuff. It was pretty fun, but it was very weird as the purpose as to why he did it, because it seemed like the point wasn't necessarily justified. But either way, I guess ultimately he got what he wanted. And then I do appreciate this show. At least I'm very interested to see where they're going, specifically with the factor of them. It feels like they're gonna touch on some race real hard, which I'm here for. They're really gonna touch on race, and Sam is trying to get his sister a loan for I think to support their boat that was their dad's. I think he passed away. That he's just trying to get a loan, and try to use his reputation as obviously savior of the earth, one of Earth's mightiest heroes, and won't even give him a loan. He's like, hey, yeah, how do you even make money anyway? Which is something that that hasn't been explicitly stated on the show or whatever, but or through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is how do they make money actually? I just assume they got paid or something, but yeah, it's they get paid through the goodwill of others. So then, yeah, dude gonna say no And they're gonna have the nerve like, yeah, can I get your autograph? Can you take a picture with me? Like, no. That's kind of messed up. You could be, which is kind of sad at the same time. You could be like the savior of the earth, but because you're black, they won't give you a loan, which is that kind of hit. That kind of hit. Not gonna lie. So I feel like this is definitely gonna be a recurring theme in like some of the later episodes, which I'm definitely in for. So, yeah. So outside of that, that's what I've been up to. Been at least in retrospective now, it's been a pretty crazy week, I have to say. Pretty crazy. All right. Well, I think that is gonna do it for episode 97 of Switches Sites. Yeah. If you did like this podcast, feel free to like, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcasting platforms. It's greatly appreciated. Any feedback, good or bad, it's appreciated as well. You can also catch me stream this podcast live on Twitch TV/aswitch. You can also catch the archive of this podcast for those people that like to podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/aswitch, where I upload every Friday as well. Yeah. You can also catch me on Twitter at aswitch as well, where I mainly tweet about video games. If you see a butt cheek, I'm sorry. Okay, that's not my fault. That my thumb slipped. My thumb slipped. You know, it just does that sometimes. Sometimes, you know, that may happen. I mean, don't blame me for that. Blame you for seeing that. All right. Whose problem is that? Is it mine or yours? Let's try to dissect who's at fault there. 'Cause it ain't me. It ain't me. Anyway, till next time, don't cough. Don't touch people that don't want to be touched. Get your game on. Oh yeah. Nobody's safe.